817-641-9444. The Floor Store. They got you covered.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logoed designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leech Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson in Cleveland, Texas. Leech Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
The voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday night. Well, I guess kind of Friday evening. Big Friday. MYFA football is back tonight. And we've got MYFA players here. We've got special guests here. We even have, once again, and I don't know every week I'm going to be able to bring breaking news to the table, but we have some breaking news today. One of our guests has a very good friendship with an NFL football player. And man, he's agreed to come on the show. We don't have the dates yet. So before everybody starts messaging in and, who is it, the dates, I will tell you, this is a multiple Pro Bowler. He is an absolutely incredible athlete. I believe his kids play in the MYFA organization, and he has agreed to come and talk football with us. And honestly, I mean, that just goes to show you MYFA is getting bigger and bigger. And so before we get started with our guests today, as always, if you are listening and watching online, drop an L in the comments for live. If you happen to be watching this a little bit later, drop an R for replay. This is the opening of 7-on-7. Football is back tonight. And in studio with us, we have the Crowley Eagles and one Burleson Elk. He happens to be my son. So the Eagles and the Elks, they promised to keep it peaceful between them here for a few minutes tonight, at least before they get on the field a little bit later. So I'm going to start to my right. Please introduce yourself, young sir.
My name is Preston Moore, and I play on the Burleson Elks, and I am number 24.
And what grade are you in?
6th grade.
Fifth grade, going to 6th grade. You, sir?
I'm Raylan Houch, and I play for the Crowley Eagles 5th grade team. I wear number 15.
So there you go. There are your stars tonight to go look out for. And then our old fogies that we have here. Introduce yourself.
My name is Rob Houchin. I'm with the Crowley Football Association.
And you, sir?
And my name's Lance Pinnock. I'm your game of the week guy, your video guy, your camera guy there on the sidelines. So
let me give a special shout out to my man Lance. All of the videos that you guys see, the cool action shots, y'all, I'm telling you, like the game of the week stuff. I mean, this is the guy here. So if you've never put a face to the name, and I'm gonna promote him here just a little bit. Hopefully, I'm not about to jam up his schedule, but if you want some action shots of your kids, if you want stuff like that, make sure you find him. You will see him at one of the MYFA games every single weekend. I can guarantee you that. Most likely the game of the week. I don't know where he's going to be tonight. If he wants to share that, he can. But this dude is the man. But we're here. It is the Crowley Eagles night, and I want to jump right into it. We have Rob here, and Rob also didn't tell you he is also the president of MYFA, so he kind of does it all. Rob, how has the day been for the past couple of days getting ready for tonight? Smooth sailing, huh?
Oh yeah, it's always smooth right up to the point to where you figure something out that you missed, and trying to catch up with them the last hour before game start. Making sure officials are where they need to be, that the fields are striped, that teams know where they're supposed to be, and just playing catch up.
And I want to say this with just for tonight. We're gonna cover a lot of 7-on-7 stuff here in a second, but I jokingly said it went smooth because one of our facilities, and I hope it's okay, unfortunately they had a double booking and they had to back out tonight. So I can tell you, as of yesterday before lunchtime, Rob and the executive team and I guess everybody involved in MYFA, so hats off to them. It came down to the wire that we may have to postpone some games tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, we were close to pushing the games off. Like you said, unfortunately, our All Saints location wasn't available for this week. Luckily, Burleson offered to step up and got some fields for us at the Burleson High School for
so you're
tonight.
Saying Burleson saved Crowley?
No,
I'm just kidding.
no.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know if you'll get me to say that, but no, but that's what's part of, big about this organization. It's, everybody likes to step up and help each other. So we're pretty fortunate in that aspect of it. So we were able to get things kicked off tonight, and we'll be back to the norm next week.
And hats off to you, Rob, and the entire MYFA executive team for your hard work on that. And in case you parents, and I don't think any parents question this, but if you do, that don't go to show you that they're in it for the kids. I don't know what to tell you guys, because it would have been very easy just to postpone a week and say, hey, you know what, let's just catch up next week. But they know that all these kids have been out there putting in hard work. They've been out there working. They've been out practicing, and they wanted to give them an opportunity to play. Obviously, hats off to Burleson for helping out, and Burleson High School for opening up some of their fields. I have been critical about them in the past, but they did come through tonight in a pinch, and excited about it. And for all you coaches and parents, this was the reason why there was a little bit of the delay on the schedule. So I promise you guys, there's I know some people think, Rob, that or what are they doing with the schedules? Are they trying to pit a good team versus a bad team? The delay was we didn't know if we were going to have a place to play, but we got it, and as soon as we did, those schedules got out. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. So we just clarify a couple of things regarding schedules.
Yes,
so,
please.
It's always a question. And one thing that everybody should keep in mind is everybody that's volunteering is also a parent. So we all have schedules that we're trying to keep up with, and we're trying to make sure that, if we have more than one child, obviously we're probably going to have more than one commitment each week. So we take all of that stuff into consideration. So, we released 1 week of schedules this week, but that's also because this is the largest 7-on-7 season that MYFA's had. We have almost 60 teams.
Wow.
We're playing at 4 different locations. We're having to organize over 30 officials. It's a lot of moving parts. And what we wanted to do is put that first week out, let everybody get a look at it. We're getting feedback on, some requirements or maybe some special requests from some coaches or some towns that we might need to consider moving down the road with the rest of the schedule. So that's what we're doing. And hopefully we'll have the rest of the schedule out this weekend so everybody can look that over. I know everybody's, anticipating that and trying to figure out the rest of their 7-on-7 season, but you can count on playing on Fridays from 6:30 to 10. So I would book those, Oh,
that's awesome. And I appreciate the cover that. We've got a ton of comments coming in, and guys, if you are watching live, drop an L in there. And if you have some comments for the Crowley Eagles tonight, please, ask away and they'll answer it. Matt Dickerson says live from the home of the Eaton Eagles. James Craigle says game day. Yes, sir. It absolutely is. Pamela Davis says Preston Moore, that's his grandmother. And for those of you who wonder why there's an elk here, because James Craigle also says, what are we doing hanging out with the Eagles today? Is Preston is my son, and we are leaving straight from here to go to 7-on-7. It is game time. And then for you, Lance, T-Bell says, I know I agreed to pay you for the game of the week, but have you seen the fuel prices?
Man.
So
I've seen seen them.
And then Sydney Mason, of course, says, MYFA, thank you for the hard work. So, guys, we're going to cover a lot of MYFA stuff, but I want to shift into Crowley because this is what this show is about tonight. Rob, tell me how many people are on the Crowley board right now? And if you know them all by name, let's name them off so they get their recognition.
Well, we should be joined here shortly by our president, Tyrone Donnerson.
All right.
Tyrone's been the president of the association since it merged, actually, which a lot of people don't understand is Crowley was two associations that ended up merging between CYA and the Crowley Blackhawk organization.
Oh, okay.
And so Tyrone's been at the head of the controls for that organization since then. The vice president right now that's a good question.
Great question.
We just had board elections, so
okay.
we had some turnover. So we do have Angela, I believe, is our secretary. My wife Amy is the treasurer. Raul is our football director. Darius Wilson has been part of our association for the last several years. He's been the assistant football director. And let's see, Tamara Prince is our new cheer director. So,
well, welcome to all the new board members of Crowley. Are signups open yet, or are you guys in the process of doing that?
Signups are open.
Okay.
In fact, yeah, everything is online now. It's crowleyfootball.com. And all of our information's there. You can sign up, cheer, football, flag, all of our information, contact information is on there. We've started the new program like with MYFA, like it is with all the associations, so that all the parents know we're trying to help the situation through certification. So all of our towns are going through the same registration process. So all the paperwork is uniform across our league now. So we can save a lot of that time and headache that some of y'all may have seen last year on that one long Saturday. We did pay attention. We are correcting those issues. So we appreciate everyone's patience with that. It should be a lot smoother. We've had a lot of good luck with this system. It's the same system that we're running our backgrounds and everything through right now. So we've had a lot of success with it.
So let's talk about that registration for just a second. And I'm glad Crowley's open. I've seen, number one, with this new system, it seems like a lot of towns are getting their registration open. I know when I registered my son for 7-on-7, you know, it's preemptively asking for things like birth certificates and report cards and stuff like that. And the purpose of it, so we can let our parents know that are listening, and for some of you that may not be playing 7-on-7, but you're planning on playing tackle, that few minutes that it takes on the front end is what's going to expedite the back end. Is that right?
That's right. We can actually, technically, what the plan is to actually have the players about 95% certified before they show up on that Saturday. So essentially all you have to do is show up and get weighed, and then you can go on about your business the rest of the day.
And for you parents that have never been to a Saturday weigh-in certification session, unfortunately, those are not held in November and December. They are in the wonderful summertime, dead in the heat of, I guess, August is right. The dates of it. We all scramble to try to get under the tents and make sure that the tents, when the sun moves a certain direction, I know, last year, Miss Amy from Crowley was out there passing out waters to people, making sure people weren't about to pass out. And so I, for one, I'm more excited about being able to spend, and I guess I should shout out my wife did this, not me, but I'm sure she was perfectly fine for me spending an extra 5 minutes registering now to make sure on Saturdays when we go to do certification, hopefully those lines move through quickly. We're doing weigh-ins and we can call it a day sooner. And so just another thing that MYFA is pushing in the right direction for our students and for our kids and stuff like that, making things easier for them to be able to play. So I wanted to ask you about this with Crowley. So Crowley and Burleson, we're next door neighbors, with Joshua. And I know that 2 years ago, when COVID hit, Crowley decided to not play football at that point in time. There were some towns that did. I know Burleson wound up playing. Crowley decided not to play. And I think Joshua decided not to play. And I got to be honest, my hat's off to you. And I would like for you to talk about it. You guys kind of turned the engine right back on. And what led to the decision of, closing, if I can ask that? I mean, obviously we know pandemic going on in the world and, a lot of stuff, but also how did you guys restart that? Because it seems like Crowley's even bigger this year than they've been in the past, if I'm kind of hearing some of the stuff correctly. So talk me through that.
Well, I think it's difficult, man. That was probably one of the most difficult things that I've been in youth sports for over 15 years. And it was probably one of the most difficult decisions that's had been made before. I mean, when you got to tell kids, they're not going to be able to play that year. And probably with kids not understanding really the full scope of what the pandemic was doing. And, that was tough. I mean, and as far as crippling as an organization, it did because, we ran another year of expenses without bringing in any money to cover those things. So even when you're dealing with the pandemic, a lot of the people that were on the boards and stuff were coming out of pocket to continue, paying the expenses, websites and stuff. They still want their money. Insurance still wants their money. You still have those expenses and stuff to go through. And, lucky enough, we have a great group of people that have been involved in that organization for over the years, and everybody stepped up. Now, with the kids, we saw a lot of excitement last year. A lot of excitement, with the new formation with MYFA, because I think sitting out the year kind of made kids hungry to come back that year with MYFA because they saw the potential of it, and the new grade division organization was unique to what we've had before, because we'd come from Brazos Valley. That's what we had known from the first year. Yeah. So being grade specific was completely new, and it grew our organization. I mean, it was a little tough with the younger divisions, but we anticipate being able to field teams in each division again and being competitive this year. So
yeah, and Crowley's always competitive, and I know for me personally, an awesome young man came over and got to play with us for 1 year, Caleb, and became a good friend of our family, and he's spent the night over at my house before. Him and Preston became friends, and I got to say that it was really cool seeing towns kind of help out with that with MYFA, and obviously now everybody's kind of going back to where they came from and stuff. And I applaud you for what you guys have done to restart that engine back up, because Crowley is, when it comes to football here in Johnson County, Crowley's a staple. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I mean, the Crowley Eagles are a staple, not just in the youth level, but junior high and high school and things of that nature. And so I think that's good. And you talked about the younger level. I don't know. So there's a question here from Tristan asked, and I assume this is just for Crowley, but we can talk in general. What age can you start flag? So what is Crowley's age? Pre-K?
I would say pre-K. What, 4?
4? 4
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't like to get into flag just because it's herding cats at that level. So I mean,
you mean you're not taking 2 teams?
No, sir. No, sir. I wouldn't even.
Lance, you coaching flag this year?
No, I'm good.
We've been very fortunate to have some great flag coaches in Crowley, though. We had Scotty York a couple of years with us, and then Ethan took over, and Ethan had coached them in flag. So we've had some really good, and we had Messiah last year, great flag coach. And, hats off to those guys, because, when they're trying to get those kids and getting the development process going and introducing them into the game of football, it's the most important step right there and getting their interest in it.
I agree.
And they've done a great job.
That really is, man. And the most important age is flag, getting them started. Just the concept of the game at that young age, that's huge.
Building the excitement.
So, Lance, let me ask you, because, you've seen a lot of football. And by the way, we have a Victor sighting. So, as we're playing Who is Victor in MYFA this year, I can tell you I do not see a phone in Rob's hands nor in Lance's hands. You got a phone over there? No, none in our young men's hands here. Mine is here, but I can show you I did not message. But Victor says, who is winning tonight in 7-on-7? Victor, we're going to cover that. I would love to see some of your predictions. But I guess we can rule out everybody at this table for Victor.
Yes, I get that question all the time on the sideline.
So it's not you.
No, it's not me.
But Lance, you've been around a lot of football, and I would like to know your thoughts on the MYFA football organization as far as competitiveness, their young athletes that they see. I mean, you're out there shooting shots of these kids at every level.
Yes.
Every game of the week, you are T-Bell jokingly said about it, but you're out there, so you're seeing kind of the best of the best.
Absolutely.
Tell me what your thoughts are.
So I've already learned based off this last season that your favorites that you think are your favorites, there's no guarantee that you'll see them in that championship game. So you may have a team winning in this league by a long shot and they're favorites to win the Super Bowl, but there's a chance that they may not make that Super Bowl. And we saw that in quite a few grade divisions. And shooting the game of the weeks, man, looking at all the different age levels and stuff, the competition is there. The teams, the towns, everything from top to bottom, it's there, man. It's rock solid. I really like it. And one thing I do notice that separates these teams are the coaches.
Yeah.
The coaching separates. There's talent on both sides of the ball every game I go to.
Yeah.
Every single game of the week that I've shot, if you go on my YouTube channel and you look at them, regardless of the score, there is talent on both sides of the ball. What separates all this is the coaching staff. So that's one of the major things that I got of feedback wise, what I've seen on these sidelines and talking is coaches that are on it and got those kids ready to play. They are succeeding. But now when they run across those other coaches that are doing the same thing, it becomes a dogfight, and it's awesome to watch.
That's great. And Rob, talk to me about, I know you coach at Crowley, but Crowley's had a good history of winning. Talk to me about Crowley's coaches. I mean, is there a selective process to it? Is it, how do you guys select your coaches for your kids?
Well, I mean, I've made no secret in MYFA meetings, and even when we were back in Brazos Valley and stuff, you always hear a lot of talk about recruiting players, and I've always told everybody you're doing it backwards. You recruit the coaches.
Yes.
You go recruit coaches. You find coaches that have football experience. You go recruit coaches that can communicate. That's the important thing, because if you don't have parent buy-in with your team's not going to succeed. Right. If parents don't believe in you, they're not going to bring kids to practice. They're not going to be on time. They're not going to help you, get to where you need to be as a coach. So first and foremost, you need to recruit coaches. And that's what we've been really fortunate to do. And we've had coaches that recruited other coaches.
Yes.
Good coaches will find great players.
Yep.
And those great players will go find more great players. So if you plant the seeds with your coaches, then you won't have any problems with players. And we've been really fortunate. We've had a lot of great coaches. I mean, Tyrone has won Super Bowls. Darius won Super Bowls. I won Super Bowls. Turntine won Super Bowls. We've had a lot of great coaching staffs that have come through there, and we've been really, really fortunate. And since coming back from COVID, we're rebuilding new coaching staffs. And I think this year you'll see a lot of that turnaround from what we were last year. I mean, there was a lot of coaches trying to familiarize themselves with the new league, with their new coaching staff, new kids. But I think a lot of our coaches are prepared and ready to take the next level this year. So.
And that's one of the things I'm super excited about in MYFA to see. We're kind of in that third-ish year where people are, we've got familiarity right now with folks. We've got teams that know each other. We got our rivals. We got, and it's now time to step up. So I'm going to ask our two stars of the show here. I'll start with young Houchin here. What's it like playing for Dad?
It's pretty good.
We get him pretty good.
Not bad.
Is he tough on you?
Yeah, definitely tough on me.
Yeah. What's it like playing for your dad? Because I coach you.
It's probably about the same.
You know what I love about that, Rob, is that tells me, and we've heard this term, I've heard this term around football a while. I don't think there's a whole lot of daddy ball that happens at least that I can see, like with kids. I know, matter of fact, we had a very real moment last night coming home from practice, and Preston had a rough practice, and we talked about, like, if he doesn't play well, this is 7-on-7, it's not tackle, and he's a lineman and not a skill position player. And what I like about that is that when they leave us and they get to junior high, they're not going to care who their dad is or their mom is and stuff like that. And so, believe it or not, I love both of y'all's answer, because that tells me that you're getting good coaching. And I'll tell you this, that every coach, I hope this to be true, but I believe every coach wants the best for every one of their kids that are playing. And I will back Rob up. I've heard him say that in the meetings and stuff. Good coaching trumps everything.
Yes.
That is for sure. So Crowley tonight, let's start with fifth grade. First game, Burleson Tubbs. So we got Crosstown. That's going to be in Crowley tonight, and that starts at 6:30. Are you excited?
Yep.
Super excited. What position you play?
Corner, running back, and center.
Quarter, running back, and center. So, Coach Tubbs and I coached together last year, and I remember the game we had against you guys to get to the championship, and what a fun
We're not
game.
bringing that up.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say the score.
No, it's good. It's good
Yeah.
competition. Those were great games.
What a
Yeah.
fun game it was. Came right down to the wire, and so I know Crowley's gonna have a great team tonight. So 5th grade, they start off with Burleson Tubbs, and don't worry if I don't. Right now, we're talking about Crowley, but I am gonna read some other of the schedule stuff off that is going on, and that is in Crowley. Let's see who else. What age group does Crowley have playing? They have 5th grade,
5th and 6th.
and 6th
Fifth and
grade.
sixth, yep.
So let's see who does 6th grade have tonight. I'm trying to scan through here.
Burleson.
Burleson too.
Yeah, but not Adrian's team. The
The other Burleson team.
Yeah.
Good young coach for Burleson. Going back to what you're talking about. I'll shout out to Casey Adrian. He has been working with Dylan in Burleson, trying to help him, guide him along a little bit. He coached a little bit as assistant last year. He's stepping up, taking his team. Good young man. Who do you have second, 5th grade tonight?
No clue.
No clue. Let's see if I can find it for you. Then looks like you have Eaton.
We're on top of
Eaton.
it, aren't we?
You have
Yep, definitely on top of it.
You have.
I
Eaton.
missed practice this week, so I'm a little bit behind. Even though I probably looked at that schedule 100 times, So
we got Burleson Tubbs versus Crowley first, and then you guys play back to back. You have Eaton right after that. Any score predictions you want to throw out there tonight?
Not really.
Sound like W's to you?
Definitely sounds
Two
like
W's?
Definitely sounds like 2 W's.
All right, Lance, I'm gonna put you on the
2
spot.
W's.
Give me your thoughts tonight.
For
Crowley
which-
5th grade.
5th grade.
They got Eaton and Burleson. Burleson Tubbs and I'm not sure which. I know Eaton has like 12 teams, so I'm
Yeah,
not sure which
so-
Eaton it is.
It's gonna take me a couple weeks to figure out who's on what team.
Okay.
but I'm pretty confident in Crowley. I might be a little biased, but I'm confident in Crowley. I'm both on the 5th and 6th grade units.
All right, both in 5th and 6th grade, and then of course 6th grade they have also Eaton Mahaffey, and so you're calling wins for Crowley tonight.
Yeah, my son's on the 6th grade team.
Awesome. That's cool. Well, so guys, what I'd like to do is talk about here in this next segment, go a little bit over the MYFA rules, talk a little bit about some of the games, the schedule, maybe some stuff that you guys are looking forward to. But before we get to that point, as we come up on our first break, and I told y'all time flies when we're having fun, right?
Definitely fun.
Is there anything Crowley needs? Are you guys needing volunteers? Are you needing as we get into the season? How can parents get involved if they want to get involved?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The one thing that we run into a problem with in Crowley is we're trying to get a lot more participation as far as getting the word out. So, we've been putting signs and stuff up. We try to pass flyers out at the school. We're randomly passing flyers out around town and stuff like that. But we seem to have an unfortunate issue where some people are stealing our signs in Crowley. So
It's not Burleson Rock.
I know. but we're trying to get those signs out. So we're actually looking for people to help us even put them in their yards and stuff like that, and help us get the word out around Crowley, because they're saying that's one place we fall short, that a lot of kids don't know about our association. So we need everyone's help to get that out.
So Crowley parents, get your yard sign. That's one thing you can do.
Come on up to the
Cheap,
stadium
easy.
tonight.
Come get to the yard sign at the stadium. Hey, when we get back, we're going to go in straight into 7-on-7. This is MYFA After the Whistle Live.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
And just like that, that's the shortest halftime show ever. And we are back. MYFA Live after the whistle. Crowley Eagles are in-house. Let me take care of some quick house cleaning business here real quick. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is on the Live 365 TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com to choose where and how. The Joco Community Radio app is now available for free on Android and iOS devices. Simply search that in your store. You want to check out our lineup and more, go to jococommunityradio.com. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at 844-TEXT-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And also by Versus Sports. If you haven't got your uniforms yet, you can reach out to them at 817-308-6064. You may even see those guys out at MYFA games. And if you're just now joining us online, we've got the Crowley Eagles in-house. Drop an L for live. If you're watching live, guys, a lot of great comments are coming in. I'm still waiting on some of Victor's predictions for 7-on-7 to come up tonight and see if he has any games that he's looking out for. But what I want to do is just real quick, I want to start here to my right and work around. I want to ask these guys, 7-on-7 is a little bit different than tackle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you're not getting hit, you're not getting knocked around. And so I'll start here with Preston and work my way around here to our star guest of the show. What do you like most about 7-on-7?
So I'm an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman in tackle, and I really don't get to score a lot of touchdowns. But in 7-on-7, when I play receiver, it's so much fun just to catch a ball and actually score a touchdown.
That's awesome. That's one of the things I love about 7-on-7. I wish we had enough coaches that all of our offensive linemen can get out there and be able to play. And I know, not to put Rob on the spot here, but I know Rob has talked about even doing some stuff in the future through MYFA for our offensive linemen and things of that nature, because those guys in the trenches, they're from August until, October, November. They're in there, banging and clanging, as The Rock would say, right? And so we're always excited when we are able to have a couple linemen play on our team. Tell me, what do you like about 7-on-7?
It's very fast paced. It's not as fast paced as tackle.
You like the fast pace of it?
Play after play after play.
So what are you both, Preston, what are you looking forward to tonight? Scoring a touchdown?
I'm looking forward to beating White Settlement and Cleburne tonight.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Right
That's how I was waiting for him to say Crowley. I didn't know what team he was on, so I was like, let's be careful.
What are you looking forward to tonight?
Them W's.
Gotta
get them W's.
I love it. And Lance, I'm gonna ask you to share what you shared with me during the break, because it's a powerful testament to Crowley. And when you get done, guys, we're going to go over the rules for 7-on-7 for some of you parents that have asked about it. We're going to give the highlights, so we're not going to read them all. But you were sharing something in the break about, team you used to coach for and them transitioning up to the junior high level.
Yes.
And some things that you've seen. So take a few moments, share that with our listening audience, because I think for you parents that are listening that aren't coaches, I want you to hear this background of the story, because I can tell you, for me as a coach, Rob will add his opinion to it after the story gets done. But this is what I hope for from players that play for me, for exactly what you're about to say.
Absolutely. So basically, give you a little bit of history. My son was on the 6th grade last year. From this last season, he was on the 6th grade unit. These boys have transitioned into middle school. And in middle school, they've already got their 7-on-7 team going on and things like that. So to rewind the clock here, we started his second year of Bantam, which would have been 2nd grade. So we've had these group of players since 2nd grade, and they have gone through every season with the exception of 2020 with COVID. But I was helped before I was the camera guy. I was actually one of the coaches on that unit, and we've had a lot of success. We really practice hard. We went out there, we grind them. I have a track background, so I was the guy that ran my kids.
You were the guy everybody hated.
Yes, but I told them
I was
it
like,
would
yes.
benefit, and we're coming back full circle now. So now they're in middle school. We don't have no affiliation as far as selecting kids and all that. And we had they recently had tryouts for 7-on-7. There was 60 kids that tried out for the 7-on-7 team at Richard J. Alley, which is the Crowley Middle School. He can only keep 14 of them, meaning there's a bunch of kids that unfortunately got cut that didn't have that opportunity to even have a chance to play in the 7-on-7 team. So me being a former coach, to go out there and see when they're playing against the other Crowley middle schools, all the Eagles that I have helped coach, I felt like I gave them every opportunity to make that team and have that leg up on the competition. I felt bad for the other kids, but that's the reality of the situation, man, is I wanted to make sure when those kids left our hands that we gave them the best opportunity if they wanted to play at the next level to give them that. And they were all out there on the starting unit out of all those kids.
Man, that's powerful. And Rob, I'd like to kind of hear your thoughts on that too, because that is, to me as a coach, obviously, one of the things I also want kids to do when they leave me is I want them to be a good, productive member of society. We talk about when we're out on that field, it's yes, sir, all the time. If there's parents out there, and putting them into society. But on the football aspect, this is MYFA Live After the Whistle. On the football aspect, there's nothing I want more than every Burleson elk that I had a chance to touch when they get to their junior high of choice, whether that be in Burleson or they move, they go out of state, whether that be in Crowley, that a coach looks at them and goes, yeah, that's a kid I want. Yes. Rob, talk to me about that. I mean, what is your philosophy on that when it comes to training these young men? I mean, you've been doing it for like 80 years now, it seems like.
Yeah. I've got kids that played for me that got kids. So
that's why his hat's on, folks, because you don't want to see that gray hair.
That's right. There's not hair with some, but and I'm going to kind of tell on myself a little bit. When my oldest son first started football, his first year of tackle football, I was one of those parents. I was sitting on the sidelines and I didn't agree with some of the stuff that the coach was doing. Okay. And I had an issue with it. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to put my son through it, and I'm not going to put us through it as a family. And I went home and I talked to my dad that night. And my dad said, well, did you offer to help that coach?
Wow.
And I said, no. I said, no, I'm not. Why? He goes, well, then you haven't earned the right to complain.
Yeah.
And ever since he told me that, I've used that. I've told my kids that same thing. It's a philosophy that I've gone by with everything that I've done to help anything that I've done in the community, from activities at the school, outside of football, anything that needs to be done. I always try to put, my best foot forward with a lot of people. So I've used that. And then one thing that is kind of spun from there, kind of going from what Lance was saying, it's something about watching your kids succeed. And we get to watch kids play on Saturdays. We have a kid that he's at Arkansas now, running back.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Got to watch him score quite a few touchdowns last year. That's big football. Big time football. We got one in the SEC and we got one in the Big Ten that played for us. He's a safety at Indiana. Mm-hmm. And watching kids have that sort of success and doing something that they love, initially you're like, well, that's, teaching the kids the fundamentals, but you're watching these kids grow.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with not just watching kids from my town either. it's the great thing about MYFA is what a lot of these people are going to see in about 5 or 6 years when a lot of these kids are playing under the Friday night lights, and you're going to know all these kids. Those games are going to have a lot more meaning.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to sit there and be like, I remember that kid when he was, only this tall and he wasn't even big enough to be a receiver. There was one kid I remember from Midlothian, Jay Wilkerson, little kid, played running back, and then saw him several years later as a receiver. And I think he went to Hawaii, watching kids like that. We've watched kids at South Oak Cliff that have come through Crowley, and I've watched Toledo kids, that we've known over the years that have gone on. And that's just been very powerful, to the whole thing. Cause you want to see kids, not just from this town, from your town, but it's all the towns, and you watch them succeed, and it helps kids thrive from one town to another. My kids have developed friendships and relationships with a lot of kids that are outside of Crowley, and they all push each other. You may not see it, but they do it all through social media and stuff like that. And they're all pushing for each other. And that's the only thing that I'd like to encourage and see more of that, especially from the parents.
Rob, it's number one, what great wisdom by your dad, and for you parents that are out there, maybe that should become, football parents theme, because parents are so quick. And look, I get it. They're paying for a product and they're putting their money out there to complain versus offering to help, because you never know, the right person steps in and help. Yeah. There's that next coach.
You're the start.
Yeah.
This is where it starts.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is going all the way back to that conversation you had with your dad. You just laid out a 30,000 foot overview of a very unique history where you've got D1 athletes that you're following. You've got high school athletes you're following. You've got middle school athletes you're following. And we have Pee Wee athletes that you're following. And that is what I love about MYFA. And I hope, I'm only in my third year of coaching football, or fourth year now, something like that. So I'm not quite as old as you guys are when it comes in it, but that is a legacy that if no one ever plays D1, that's awesome to see. But I want to see these kids grow up, and I love what you said about Friday nights. And here's my 2-minute soapbox as the host of MYFA Live After the Whistle. For all you school districts, if you have a team playing in MYFA, this is why you should find a way to get involved.
Yeah.
Right here.
Absolutely.
Ask how you can help. If you are part of any school district, Crowley School District, Burleson, Joshua, Cleburne, Eaton, if you're part of a school district, I promise you these towns can use your help some way, somehow. It might be, picking up garbage. I don't know, but we could use your help. And you want to be involved in this, because you will be able to look back on this in several years on Friday nights when you've got a kid that scouts are coming to recruit. I mean, it gives me chills thinking about it. They're going to be able to look back on this, Rob, and be like, you know what? I was a part of that. In a way, you were a part.
There's a story that I'll share real quick that I saw. It was on Twitter, and the one player that I was referencing that was from Crowley is Bryson Bonds. He played for us, and he's the one that's at Indiana now. And his nickname was Cheese. And we gave him that nickname at practice. But what was funny about it is another player that he plays with in Indiana was nickname was Monster. So what they were talking about was how different those nicknames are, but they were sharing the story about how he got his nickname. And it was at a practice, and he was like, "Coach, I need a nickname." And I was like, "Okay, well, what are you thinking?" And he was just like, "I'm thinking cheese. I like cheese. I think cheese is good." And not only did it stick with him, but his dad now is known as Coach Cheese.
That's awesome.
So those are the stories. That's what people get out of this. That's what I enjoy. When I first started, a lot of coaches, when you're new, you think about W's, you think about Super Bowls. But it's the relationships that I've come up with over the years with so many people in so many towns, knowing people. I mean, I can go to any town and watch football, and I can sit with a group of people that I know, regardless if it's Crowley, Burleson. I could go to Lido, Midlothian. I go all these towns, and I can sit with a group of people, and I can watch kids because I love the game of football, and I want to watch that. And it's good to be able to share that with a lot of people. And I think that kind of gets lost on Saturdays sometimes, but just because it's just competition, and that's fine. But in the big picture, and I've been around it for a long time, so I've had a lot of time to see it, and I wasn't like that initially. Bobby Martin will tell you that, he and I was all about just beating him. That was it. You could take anything else you wanted, but I was going to beat Bobby Martin, which I never did. And we'll stop there. But it's those memories and stuff that mean the most. And I wouldn't trade any of those for the world. So,
yeah. And I agree with you, that, the Saturday competition will always be there, and the rivalries will always be there, and it's going to get heated on. And I wouldn't have it any other way, right? I mean, we want the kids to get heated, but at the same time, I've heard stories about generations before me that when they times have changed a lot, and that's a whole nother show topic. But when you used to have a disagreement with someone else, y'all would fight it out in the street and hug each other afterwards and move on. And that's what I kind of feel like about MYFA and our kids. These two young men are sitting right here. They met each other out there, smiling and stuff like that. But when they both put the pads on, they're going to go at it. But after the game, hey, man, I seen you at the radio show, man. That was cool. And that's what we ultimately want. And that's and I know a lot of our parents are behind this, but if the parents will get behind that even more, I think we can have a whole crop of kids from Crowley, Burleson, all of MYFA that grow up that we all just look at it and go, holy cow, what a stamp. That we all, I envy Lance because he gets to shoot them all.
I do.
mean? So
and let me tell you, like I said, the competition is there. So like going in, I remember because we came from Brazos Valley, right? So before we were winning Super Bowls and things like that, I talked to my kid, he wasn't really that nervous going into the playoffs. But this last playoff season, when we were going into the Brock, we played Brock and then we played Alito. Both of those games, he told me, Dad, I'm nervous. I said, you're supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. That's playoff football.
That's awesome. And if you're just joining us, shame on you for being late, but maybe you just got off work. The MYFA Live After the Whistle, we have the Crowley Eagles in studio today, and man, we're having some great conversations. It is game night, the first game night. So real quick, before we get into the 7-on-7 rules, I just want to tell our listening audience some of the things that we're going to be covering going forward. Obviously, MYFA After the Whistle is an opportunity for us to get you guys some information. We want it to be interactive with you guys. So please, question and comments. Victor will be doing some predictions and stuff with us starting next week. One of the things that we are here for are the kids. That's why you see two of our young athletes with us today. And so starting next week, we'll still continue to have towns come on and we will feature the towns, but we're also going to feature some players, which is going to be exciting. We're going to have some stats. I know I was just talking to Rob and Lance, and they're going to have some highlight videos and stuff. We're going to try to find a way to have those streaming a little bit in our commercial breaks. Things are really about to ramp up, and football season is here. I know it's not tackle, but I promise you, we're going to blink and we're going to be in tackle, and we're going to be doing fittings and all that type of stuff, and the pads will be coming on. And so, and MYFA After the Whistle will have you from here on out. So I've had a couple people contact me, and they've asked about, some of the rules of 7-on-7. We've had some parents that have come out and watched it, and they're like, wait a second, it's not 10 yards to get a first down. And how come they're not, going for an extra point and this and that? So for all you parents that are going out tonight, I wanted to give you just a brief overview of the rules for you guys. I know you're out there. If I miss anything, please let us know. Young Houchin, he already told us that 7-on-7 is faster. And here's some of the reasons why that 7-on-7 is faster. So number one, so the field length for people, second and third grade divisions, it's 30 yards an end. Okay. For fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, it's 40 yards that are in. So right there off of the bat, we're not doing kickoffs. We're not doing punts. You get 4 plays to pick up a first down or obviously a touchdown. And depending on your grade level, you're going 30 yards in or 40 yards are in. Obviously, there's 7 people on the field. The offense will have a center and a quarterback and 5 wide receivers. The defense will have 7 defensive players. So it is kind of 5-on-7, really, which is awesome. I mean, that puts in some hard work for both the offense and defense. Tonight, when you get out there at your respective stadiums, so we have Crowley hosting tonight. Burleson's hosting, but that'll typically be All Saints, but it's at Burleson High School if you're around this area. Crowley, if you're around this area. Eaton is hosting tonight. Is that correct?
Eaton is hosting, correct.
And
Eaton
is
High
Alito?
School. Alito's hosting
tonight.
At Alito Middle School.
So, folks, that's wow. guys, there is nowhere that you cannot find a game tonight. If you are close, you can find a game tonight, right? Burleson, Crowley, Eaton, Alito, you can find somewhere to go tonight. And so with that being said, there's no kicking, no punting. But when you get out to the fields, what you're going to see is you're going to see games happening on both sides of the field. Right. So you're going to see, you could see on one end Burleson and Crowley playing, and on the other end, you could have, Stephenville and Alito playing on one end. So obviously find your teams, but use that also as an opportunity to check out some of these other folks that are out there, right? Go check out some of these other talents. Also, the games are only 30 minutes long with the running clock. Is that correct? 35 minutes running clock.
35 minutes running clock. Yep.
So no kicking, no punting,
halftime, no breaks, no nothing.
No nothing.
35 minutes and get it.
No even water. My man even had to step out to get water. He's already hydrating. I can see him over there drinking water. He's hydrating, getting ready to go for the game. Okay. So let's talk about the first down interval. Okay. The first interval to get your first down is from in the older division, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, is from the 40 to the 25-yard line. So for you parents that are watching, if your baby completes a 10-yard pass, that's not a first down if they're on the 40. Right. And I've seen it last year, parents up in the stands, first down, and then when they get a first down, they're yelling down to the ref, "It's a first! Why you call it second?" Guys, it's a first down when they get to when they get to the 25-yard line. Second would be from the 25 to the 10-yard line. And so that's your next set of downs. So 7-on-7 is played in zones. So they have 4 downs to get out of that first zone. Then they get in the next zone. They have 4 downs to get out of it. I'll cover a hypothetical here in just a second. And then the last zone interval is the 10-yard and in to go. And so that's for your 4th, 5th, and 6th grade divisions. For your 2nd and 3rd grade division, the first intervals from the 30 to the 20, so more like a little bit like traditional football, the 20 to the 10, and then from the 10-yard in to the touchdown. All right, my man is here. So those are our intervals to get into the end zone. And so tonight, what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of fast pace. There's no handoffs, correct?
There's no handoffs. Everything's forward passes.
Everything's forward pass. Are there double passes?
No
double pass. So everything
no
is
hook and ladder.
No hook and ladder.
Passes,
We're not getting Boise
flickers,
State out. Okay,
none of that stuff. No Statue of Liberty.
No Statue of Liberty. So everything is moving forward as far as that goes. Now let's talk about scoring tonight. Okay. First off, a touchdown that is worth 6 points. You will see teams score a touchdown, and you may or may not see the head coach. They may hold up one finger, or you might see the team walk off the field. They're automatically given 1 point after the touchdown if they choose not to go for 2. Correct?
That's correct.
So if you just see a team score a touchdown and they walk off the field, that is 7 points. Now they can decide to go for 2, and if they go from 2, that 2-point conversion will be on the 10-yard line.
That's correct.
10-yard, and that's for all age groups, correct?
I believe so.
It's what it's showing here.
I believe so. Yeah, and that's there's a little strategy involved in that. So I mean, coaches should be paying attention to where the clock's at. So if you're going to go for 2, you're up 4. Hey,
it's game time tonight.
Coaching. I'm full transparency here. So, but I mean, it's kind of gets to be some chest moving and down there at the last 4 downs, when you're inside the 10. So they got to be kind of crafty.
And I want to pause for just a second because I believe the president of the organization just stepped in. Introduce yourself for us.
I'm Tyrone Donnerson, president of Crowley Football Association.
Well, we have we're glad that you were able to make some of the show with us. We're talking a little 7-on-7 tonight, so feel free to jump on in. What grade do you coach?
Well, I don't necessarily coach. I just go wherever I'm needed. So,
wherever you need.
Yeah, I want to kind of keep it a surprise to everybody.
How do we get volunteers like that?
I'm telling you, lifelong volunteers. That's what it is.
That is awesome. All right, so teams can go for 2. Now, here's the fun part of 7-on-7. The defense can score. A lot of people didn't know this last year that I've seen, but a defense now, if there is an interception, that is worth 2 points.
Correct.
And then they also get the ball.
Correct. It's like a safety.
It's like a safety almost. So the unique thing is you pick the ball off on defense, you go down and score. That could be a 9-point swing instantaneously in the game.
Correct.
That is what is so cool about 7-on-7 is that it's fast. No team is ever out of it because you're literally talking about. I remember some games last year that we got to be a part of, and we got an interception, and then we went down the field and scored with like 2 or 3 minutes left, and we won the game by 2. A 9-point swing can happen quickly, and especially in these older grade levels, you got some kids that can throw the ball 35 or 40 yards. We got some, athletes now are crazy. I've seen, I know Derringer on the Burleson team. Those guys are nuts. Those guys can put the ball deep in the end. And so you're talking about, you got Hail Mary plays, you got jump plays, all that type of stuff. So no team is out of it. All right. Last thing on the rules. No 7-on-7 games will end in a tie.
That is correct. Yep. It's like baseball. Can't have a tie.
It can be an all-nighter.
Could be. I think we've gone as far as 4 overtimes from what I've seen. I think that's the most that I've seen before. So I think things get pretty intense there. So
4 overtime, man. So let me just read the breaking the tie rules just in case you're out at a location tonight that has a tie. Each team will receive 1 offensive possession during the overtime period.
No coin tosses.
A coin.
No coin tosses.
No coin toss. We're out on that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it says a coin flip will determine which team receives the first possession. The coin flip will be called by the visiting team. So everybody knows that, the visiting team. And your coach should know if you're visiting home or away. Each team will begin their offensive possession from the 15-yard line, and you will have 4 downs to score. So it's to score from the 15, not from the 10. So there is no first down, 4 downs to score from the 15. Perfect. If a team scores an offensive possession in the first overtime period, that team may accept the automatic point or elect to go for the 2-point conversion from the 10-yard line. In the event that there are additional overtimes are required, each team will be required to do a 2-point conversion from the 10-yard line until a team can have a determination of the winner. So each team gets 1 freebie, but after that, everybody has to go for 2 to try to mitigate some of the overtime rules. So let me just ask, if on the first possession team throws an interception, it's over, right? It's done. That's 2 points, and we're finished. That's awesome, man. God, yeah. I love football.
Yeah, every one of those throws counts. It puts the the spotlight on them quarterbacks there in those big moments.
So guys, we got the last 30 seconds left. Tyrone came in, and time just flew.
Just give him the mic.
It went quick. I wish my little man was still in here with us. Come back in here real quick. You excited for tonight?
Yes, sir.
You excited for tonight? You can speak in right here.
Yep.
All right.
Get them W's.
Guys, it is 7-on-7 time. 7-on-7 literally starts in an hour and a half. If you're not playing, go find a location, support MYFA, get out to Crowley, get out to Burleson, Eaton, or Aledo. To all of our 7-on-7 teams, we wish you the best luck from MYFA Live After the Whistle. Crowley, thank you for being here, and we will see you guys next Friday with updates. Have a good one.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is